how are you? I'm your host, TV, and this is Roll the Tape. And today, I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Lucky.
Hi, you guys know me. My name's Koops. I like to overanalyze cartoons and video games and appear and roll the tape.
That's right, me too. Easily one of my favorite pastimes. Well, Lucky, Koops, I am ecstatic to have you here on this episode of Roll the Tape. Don't ask me which episode this is because I don't know. I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. But today, we are going to be watching a very special publication, so I'm going to go ahead and direct your eyes to the screen here in front of us. Eventually, it will start. Thank you. Now, before we get started, of course, the editor this season is actually none other than Walter. So if at any point in time you two think, hey, I'd like to show something on screen or hear something funny, just say, hey, Walter, and then tell him your idea. Maybe he'll do it for you.
Gotcha.
This might be the longest intro to a tape I've ever seen. I apologize. We could speed this up if we need to.
Oh, sword fighting.
Yeah, that's right. They are intended as a guide for those who have already practiced modern fencing, old sword fighting, or other kind of martial art.
Yo, that's me, dog.
Is it you? Have you really practiced sword fighting?
Yeah, I've
Hell
actually
yeah.
was a varsity fencer for 2 years, JV for 2.
Then this is the perfect tape for you, Koops. It's really dark in here. There we go. Today we are watching, however you pronounce that, Campagna de Malipiero.
It's my favorite movie.
Yeah. This is medieval sword fighting in the style of Fiora dei Liberi of the 14th century. Possibly the most specific tape we've ever watched on Roll the Tape.
I feel like I can't even say anything 'cause I'm just so enthralled by the ambiance they're setting here.
You know, they really are. I tested this tape out, and this is where I stopped as well, because I was like, ooh, that is so fanciful. I like that. Medieval cheese grater. Now, if I don't see a dude's limbs get lopped off in this episode, I'm going to be pretty upset.
You're not going to be the only one.
I think everyone watching at home also wants that to happen.
Yeah, at least a finger or two.
Yeah, you know, something, right? Need a little
Oh,
bit of
something
action.
for the kids.
If this was recorded live, you'd get to go home with a piece.
Like a lucky finger.
Yeah, you know, a little
Something like
trinket.
that.
You can have it like a keychain.
Those who want to see the art of swordsmanship, they must study this book.
Yeah,
which
that's
is made
one
by
as long
Fiore.
intro for.
Yeah, whoa.
This book is called Flower of the Battle and will explain the use of any weapon.
Flower of the battle. How interesting.
I have myself been studying this art for 50 years, and the less time you will need to learn it, the better. These verses belong to Fiore de Liberi de Cividale d'Austria, who wrote the first known treatise on the art of swordsmanship. Fiore was born in Cividale del Friuli, a small town on the river Natisone. The precise
I
really
date
hope
of his
that-
birth is unknown, but
What were
as
you
he
saying?
wrote in his book,
I was just gonna say, I really hope that they don't test us on the pronunciation of all this stuff afterwards.
Oh, no, certainly
he'd been
not. Don't worry.
practicing the art of
The only test at the
swordsmanship
end of
for
this
50
video is
years.
you two are actually going to face
Therefore,
off
we
in
can
gladiatorial
assume
style
that he must
combat.
have been born between 13.
Oh, that's great. I was already planning on doing that.
Oh, okay, then that's perfect. That's
Very
perfect.
little is known about Fiore's life, and most of what is
That
known
mane.
is to be found in the prologue of his treatise. His family was of noble origin, but not wealthy. It was said to have come from a little village called Primeriaco, near the town of Cividale del Friuli.
I'm legitimately
where
trying to
in
pay
his
attention
youth
because I'm so
Fiore
interested,
fought.
but at the same time, I'm like,
as was the custom in that
What
period,
is he saying?
in friendly assaults
Yeah, I mean,
and
you know,
duels.
this is interesting stuff, but
He
at
might
the
have
same
learnt
time,
the
I
first
don't
steps of
understand half
combat
of
in
the words he's
taverns
saying.
or in the streets
That
of
is
his
true. That
village,
is true.
where the masters of
Basically,
his
he's just
arts
talking about the
were often
history
seen
of
teaching
this
to the
style
youngsters.
of sword fighting and how it came to be.
Ah, alright.
Couple guys, you know, hanging around, drinking a couple brewskis, rolling the die.
Let's see who's going to win.
I can only assume these are, you know, medieval reenactors, right?
No, I think for this VHS specifically, they
Mhm.
actually went back in time.
Oh, okay.
They got the funds for the straight to video VHS to
Wow.
go back in time and actually film
Okay.
at location.
You know, they were dedicated to the craft back in the 90s. I respect that. We should take one of these little serfs, bring them to the modern day, and make them listen to Dua Lipa and eat hot Cheetos and see what they do.
I feel that they would go crazy
It
with
was
it.
in that period
They
that Fiora came to
promote
realize
everything's
what
going
was
on in this
important
world.
for a
I think you're right.
swordsman who wanted to save his
So
life.
if I'm understanding right, a bunch of
He
dudes got drunk and just
needed
decided to start
not only
practicing
courage
swords with
and
each other.
brilliance,
I
but
think
also
that's also
Probably.
what I'm
knowledge of as
gathering.
many techniques of defense
You're
and
not,
attack as
you're
possible.
not the only one.
I was about to
This
say,
is
it
the
sounds like we
reason
need
why
to start
he left his
drinking.
birthplace
And
Let's
sword
get drunk
fighting.
and do swords about
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Johannes
yeah.
Valenus, a former scholar of Nicolaus von
You see how he
Tolbiac.
pointed? He was like, hey, look over there,
The knowledge he
stupid.
acquired there made him
I
one
love
of the
this
most
guy.
famous swordsmanship
The one of the
teachers
amazing
his time.
mustache
Yes.
to beard
As a
combo. Yeah.
consequence, he trained many members of the nobility in this art.
Yeah, it gives him insane
People
power.
who were to fight in wars or in duels.
He seems like he would do his best to fight nobly, but he'd also not be underusing a little pocket sand.
You know, I feel like he's the
1383,
guy at the beginning of an
fought in
RPG
Udine,
that
fighting
is
on
like
the
your
side of
best
the town
friend or your
during the Civil
mentor,
War.
but then he dies to the
In
first boss right away.
1395, he was in Padua for a
And it's supposed to
duel,
be
and
like the
4 years later,
emotional
in 1399,
damage that you receive.
he was in Pavia.
You can't receive emotional damage from something you didn't knew at all.
That's true. Wow. Doodling on his homework. How could you?
I'm more surprised that he can make straight lines.
Not me. No way. I couldn't even edit videos. That's why I passed it on to Walter.
He's like, God, my arms are just getting tired. I'm trying to hold it in place.
For real.
Little is
sir,
known of
I've
his life
sliced
and
it
Yeah, I
His
don't
cheek
think that
every
this
time.
position is very
until,
comfortable.
At the beginning of 1400, he entered the court of Nicola III d'Este, Marquis of Ferrara.
They
as
just don't
the
make
master
doorways like they
swordsman.
used to.
I mean,
Well,
you know,
they-
those who were up high were, let's just say they were at least twice or thrice the size of us. So,
Ooh.
and he needed to make them bigger.
There you go.
I mean, when you're walking around with all that steez draped on you.
That's what I'm saying.
But they needed to show their wealth somehow.
They got the Mr. Moneybags over here, and then Twinkle Knight showing off these two.
They're just staring at each other.
Like, is this guy gonna kill us? What is he here for?
In 1410, Fiore dedicated his treatise to the Marquis. After 1410, there are no records of his life or even his death. It is believed
He's like, I
he
see nothing
died
strange going on
sometime
here. Carry
before
on.
That's right.
1450.
Thank you for your time. I'll be
Every
seeing you.
combat technique explained by
Good
Fiore
enough.
is described in minute detail, thanks to illustrations followed by captions in verse. Fiore's book, Flos Duellatorum, is not very systematic and deals with all the combat.
It's like live,
disciplines
laugh, love.
of
It's
the
just
medieval
drink, draw, and
noblemen
do
at
swords.
different levels.
Sounds rad,
Unfortunately,
honestly.
some
Sign me
subjects are
up.
Not fully explained.
Yeah,
For
every day can be a
example,
bit
wrestling
different because you
and
never
lance
know when
combat
what's
are
going to
summarized
happen.
briefly.
with the
Yeah,
sword fighting.
exactly. We should do a modern
He
day
much preferred
equivalent.
to
You
pay
know, we
more
should go to a
attention To the
Legal
use
state
of
or
the
province
two-handed
and just
sword,
sword fight it
which
out, you
forms
know?
the most
I
important
would
part
wait
of the
for a
book.
few
It is
months
also
or
the
maybe
longest
years
part of
after
the
they're
book,
going to be
because he
lightsabers,
wrote
and
his
that's going to be
treatise
way
for a
bigger fun.
nobleman.
You know,
The two-handed
that's the
sword
real
being
risk of
used
losing
by
a
the
limb, but
nobility in
that
public
does sound a lot more
duels or
fun.
in tournaments. The author continues with
That
the
horse.
use of the poleaxe and with the art of
Hans.
fighting on horseback, which are not covered in this video.
It's not covered in this video. What?
In the Middle
Alright, well,
Ages,
we're gonna buy that
three
tape too.
different kinds of sword were in use. The classical
That's a
one
lot
was
of
called
tools
the
in it.
one-handed.
We're
Yeah.
only gonna
I mean,
we're only gonna be
it's
able
was
to
for
rarely
defend
games.
ourselves
used
from
on
the
its
guys.
own.
If we get attacked by a horse, we're gonna be shit out of
Yeah,
luck.
right.
Hand. The
Yes, I
defense
killed the
weapon
attacker.
was usually a
Oh no, his
shield
horse is
or a
coming.
buckler. Between the 14th and
Damn it, I was
15th
too cheap to get the second
century,
VHS.
the two-handed sword was more widely used. The length of its handle allowed the
I would love
swordsman
for you
make
to
very
feel
strong
more
and
confident
quick
with a sword in your
blows
hands after
without
watching this
wasting
tape. I
energy
think that's
in
my goal.
charging his blows. The power and speed of
Well,
the
I
two-handed
actually
sword
had sword in
made
my
it
hands for a few
extremely
times already.
dangerous,
Oh, see, there we
especially
go.
when used
I
with
literally
a
have two behind me right now. I could just
A
grab
hybrid
one.
weapon
Oh my
was
gosh.
the so-called 1.5-handed sword. Its
We'll bring in
blade
a
was
few of the
similar
interns
to
for
that of
practice.
the two-handed sword, but its handle was shorter.
Which ones do you have? You have two-handed or one-handed?
Both hands.
You know, broadswords, classic ones.
I got the classic weeaboo anime katana and a big ass claymore.
Hell yeah.
Claymore, that's what I like to hear.
Just a couple of dudes drunk as a skunk and whacking their swords together. What is that guy? Oh, okay, sorry.
Sometimes you just need to drink, do swords, and wrestle, man.
This is like that scene in John Wick.
It's just some classic boys being boys.
Until someone loses armor, like.
That other guy is like mad at the other guys trying to like move in on his facial hair steez and just trying to fight it out about it.
There's an underlying issue there. I wonder, do you think that one guy that has the bowl cut actually wears his hair like this all the time?
He just Oliver Trees it.
Yeah.
I might have actually just been Oliver Tree. I mean, if you saw how drunk he was getting.
Oh, you know, you have a point.
This was right before he popped off.
This is like Aikido. This is that sport where they just kind of like gently
The
tumble each
medieval
other down to the
masters of
ground and call it
swordsmanship
martial
were
arts.
taken on at court,
That's-
but they
it's a
also
very real
taught
sport.
the
I'm
art of
sorry, that was rude.
swordsmanship in the streets and in
It looks more like someone walked in and everyone just looked around at each other and was like, "Look busy!"
Or a movie version.
We're
but
fighting. We're
instead,
fighting.
A different way of letting Fiore de Liberi's teachings live again. Our intention is to present his art as a fascinating and unique fencing discipline.
I can't imagine taking this journey through life. Like, this is where I end up. I'm learning a very specific fighting style.
Only to die within seconds because somebody shot you from 5 miles away.
Yeah, right.
This is not the fencing I know. And I was taught real fencing because the dude who taught me had a Z and a J in his name.
Whoa. Like Zorro.
His name was actually Andre.
Okay, alright. Andre, if you're out there, this is for you. It's like Oblivion tavern music that they're playing.
I think it's also all their actions seem so like muted. It just seems like they're all NPCs going through their little programming.
Oblivion experience.
Yeah, right. If I was actually practicing sword fighting,
That
I
one
would be
guy is
going
just
for it.
standing there.
As I said, Oblivion.
Position of the fencing
He's so
is very
NPC.
important, not only for the self-consciousness of the swordsman, but also because it determined
I love
the
this little art. Look at that
opportunity
guy.
to counterattack without wasting time.
I think I've seen these
before.
before. This is
Yeah,
like
that
legit.
That face is like.
of the swordsman. If we look at the drawings of Flos Duelatorum, we see that the legs should be kept more or less in this position, a good distance apart. The
All right.
feet were in a position similar to that used.
Yeah,
in
that,
modern
somehow
body.
that
The
both
body
came
was
out of
not
my
in
mind.
line. Ideally,
He's about to do
there
an
are two
interpretive
forms of step
dance.
used.
It looked
The
like he was
shorter
doing the
one
stick
used
bug
in both
dance.
movements,
Get stick bugged. Get Fiore de le
and
Buried.
a wider step for longer moves.
We actually did do that though. Those
Yeah?
like footwork.
Do you
That's
think that
awesome.
this is an actual alien who is trying to walk as a human?
Malfunction.
You know, there's actually a game coming out. I forget who it's by, but you're like a horse trapped in a human's body,
The
and you
former
control
That's-
each leg individually.
reminiscent of
It's
the
like
fencing step. And this allowed the swordsman
whatever that
to
one
check
game,
the distance
Quap,
better,
I think it was called.
moving slightly
Yeah,
forward
that sounds
and back.
amazing.
Yeah, but it's this huge like 3D
This
game where you're
movement
climbing a
was very
mountain.
useful when the swordsman wanted to avoid
There,
attack
that reminds me of this
because
game they
movement
had
was
recently
rapid.
where it's like this
Or
guy
when he wanted to
dies, but he
attack
gets
forcefully.
resurrected, but as like a punishment, he has to manually do every action. So he has to like breathe and blink, and you have to do it
Huh.
as the player, or he
How
dies.
strange. That's so strange.
How can you
The
die
handle
from
of the
not
two-handed
blinking?
sword was of great importance.
I mean, I guess your eyes
The
would grow
right
out
hand always
eventually.
had to grab the handle under the hilt. and
That's
it was
why
the
they do
main
water.
support for carrying a blow or for parrying it. If the swordsman was
Manual
left-handed,
Samuel.
then the left hand
Manual.
performed the
Oh,
same
yes, yes,
function.
yes. I've heard of that game. How interesting.
This just makes me want to link some
If
flames.
someone wanted to injure an opponent, either by
Honestly.
cutting or thrusting, he had to hit forcefully, and for
I'm
this
waiting for him to
reason,
start
he
roll
had to
dodging.
charge the blow. Behind his shoulders for the so-called traverse.
Oh, that's the strategy, man. Get the big blade, just start whirling around with it, man.
He's gotta charge up.
Thrusts had to be performed moving the arms
Right.
backwards.
Love it.
To not do so would have been pointless. The swordsman using a
I don't know.
charged
He's looking a
blow
little wobbly here. I'm
had
gonna be
a
honest
clear
with you.
advantage
The
over his
ultimate
opponent,
technique is
who
just
was
two
left
swords,
only to
hold them
parry
out,
as
and
a
just
means of
spin around.
defense.
You can't beat that.
What would they do? You know, how would they get through?
What would they do?
You swing your sword. Yeah, okay, now they can hit you because you
As soon
missed.
as the
But if you're
swordsman
continually
parried the
spinning in a
cut
circle,
or
there's nothing they
thrust,
can do.
He shouldn't wait for the adversary to move, but instead.
This was
he has
well
to
before
charge
we had
or
invented
give
the
greater
advanced
force
letter
to
rip
another blow
techniques, though.
without
Mhm.
wasting time. Occasionally, very
I
strong
believe
and
the
impetuous
T
swordsmen
pose
overcame
originates
their
from the
opponents
16th
with a group of
century.
cuts and thrusts, but this was
T-
only
T-pose?
possible
Yeah.
when the opponent was either tired or if the opponent was inexperienced.
I guess that the pose is kind of intimidating, so it makes kind of sense.
See, exactly.
Back in the 16th century when they invented the source engine.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's Team Fortress Classic.
I mean, when you think of like old-timey people doing stuff, don't you hear like source engine sound effects?
I can see it. I can get behind it. I don't remember when this tape came out.
By the quality, I would guess somewhere between 2004 and 2008.
Oh, no way. Older than that.
1995.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely 90s. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 1995 on the back. It says, in 1995, Massimo Malipiero founded the Compagnia de Malipiero. And that's this group. That's who this, like, reenactment troupe is.
Nailed it. Snailed it. First
Yeah.
try. What do I win?
I don't know. What do you want? Oh! There you go. There's your
You
bloodshed.
just. I wanted that guy to die.
Yeah, that was the finisher. Jeez, he actually killed that guy.
Yeah,
now he's just running.
It's
like, Jesus, Frank!
But also in many different
Keep
ways.
rolling, keep
as a
recording, go.
weapon.
This is perfect.
The sword, in fact, could be thrown at the opponent.
What? Yeah?
I'm
Did he grow
listening.
clone?
I'm listening.
Throw it at him. Hurry, I want to
Hilt
see
was
it.
used to hit the opponent's face. which was more effective at a close distance from the opponent.
That's that good weapon art right there.
Whoa. Come on,
Dude's like,
stab him.
It was gripped by its
I'm
blade,
unafraid.
used
I
as
am
a
simply
hammer.
built different.
Nah, it's more like that they have pre-made animations that I can't do anything else.
Right. Man, what
I
a
feel like
dark
you'll-
It's
shot.
very interesting
You'll
to
bonk the
notice
dude's
how
head, but
Fury's
with the
card
force of you like
focuses
swinging
on
your sword that
blades
fast, wouldn't you
and
just also
classified
slice all your
names.
fingers off?
I think that you'd have to hold it in a very specific way. I mean, maybe
I
they
don't-
should be wearing gloves. I don't know.
Traversi.
But that does
Yeah, I
seem a
mean,
little...
if you have the gloves,
If the
it
swordsman
shouldn't be
carried them
that
out
bad.
from the right,
Mhm.
I mean, their armor was
and
after all
Manroveshi
made to last
carried them
the,
out from the left.
that force from the sword.
Both
The only way to,
Manroveshi and
kill
Mandrita
someone in
could
armor
be
was to
either
cut
high,
him in places
middle,
where
or
the
low, depending on the
you know,
height
like-
of the sword movement.
elbows, stuff like that.
The upper part of the body was
Otherwise,
either
if you
threat
just
from
wanted
the
to
fendente on
in
the
that
left
armor, you would do
or
nothing
on
to
the
him.
right. The lower part of the body.
So do you
But still,
have to have...
when the
But
swordsman
still,
drove a
M16 is
montante,
way
which
stronger
fitted
than
in
the
a
armor.
or
Sure, right.
What were you
The
saying, Koops?
crosscuts were called
Do you think you have to
stalendro,
have this
and
hairstyle
moved
to
downwards.
use this way of the sword?
False
I-
stalendro moved
I
Probably.
think
Does the
it's...
Really?
sword reject you unless you have
mean,
this kind of
everyone has
hair?
it.
thrusts could be driven in any direction.
Like you go to the
The
hairdresser, you
swordsman
get your
had to
hair
move
cut, you
his
walk
arm
in the back, and there's a
backwards
sword in the
and
stone
push
back
them
there.
outwards, thereby
Yeah, and then just like,
increasing the strength
give me
of the
that
blade
my
of
liege
the sword
special.
point. There was not only one position which
The
defended
My
the
Liege
body,
special,
as in
man.
modern fencing with the saber and the foil. There were instead a large number of positions called poste. These positions took their
Whoa,
names
yes,
from the
action,
material
yes.
world, such as the names
Got
of
his fingers.
animals and even of
See,
inanimate
now he's wearing gloves,
objects.
though. This
To
is
defend
what
the
I
body
wanted.
laterally, upwards and in the middle, up to the waistline, the swordsman used the so-called posta frontale detta corona, or frontal crown guard. The head, the shoulders, and the whole upper part of the body were defended by the posta
This is fascinating.
reale
I'm
interna
legitimately
finestra,
interested in this.
true
I
royal
quite like
window
this.
guard, which protected the swordsman from cuts. Fendenti.
I really loved
and
fencing.
squares.
It was more of like a strategy game than
The
an
lower
actual
part of the
sport, I
body
feel
was
like.
defended
Mhm.
by the porta di ferro mezzana, or iron middle door guard, which protected him from montante, or uppercuts, and from lower mindriti and manroveshi, or crosscuts. When the blows were carried out from different directions, the swordsman preferred to move the body sideways, using a shore parry, la posta di donna, or the woman's position.
I'm
The
sorry.
swordsman moved one leg
The
sideways.
women's position, never heard of
on
it?
one
What?
side with
You
his
know,
sword
I
point
haven't.
facing the
This is news
ground.
to me.
Two other positions were used
Oh, wow.
for defense, and these positions could also initiate a dangerous attack. The first was called coda lunga distesa, or long lying tail, in which the sword was totally hidden behind the right leg, which was
That's a
itself
power
behind the
attack
left
move
leg.
right there.
Yeah, really.
The opponent was not able to understand where the sword was going to come from, while the other swordsman would
Yeah,
move his
object
right
permanence
leg
is
and the
really
sword
just tough.
simultaneously. This position
I
was
start
designed to make
dissociating
the
and-
opponent's perception
Jeez.
of the distance between the two swordsmen. From the posta del bicornio, the
Stabbing?
two-horned position, the second guard, a thrust was delivered
Yeah.
forwards with great strength, pushing the arms forwards. The thrusts were parried sideways, and sometimes the swordsman moved his body as fast as he could.
But only sometimes because the swordsman was lazy.
Or wasn't alive for long enough. I mean, I don't think that when you're, in a fight in the medieval times, you lived for too long there.
I do like that they're getting a little more force in their swings.
I
go
think
for the
it's
kill?
this music is just like lulling us all into a like deep sense of relaxation, even though it's murdering going on.
Ooh, hang on. We might get what we wanted here. But you're totally right, Koops. You're totally right. I think the music is what's putting me to sleep, but I'm interested now. Look at this. It's our boy.
Is he going to die like you said?
I hope not. I hope that he comes out victorious.
Let me pop a squat on this ye ancient park bench. The ancient concrete park bench.
Legendary quality. For the rest.
That's just where he lives. Surprisingly, being a reenactor of the 14th century fencing is not the most profitable life choice. Oh. What? What did he do?
He just looked at him wrong, man.
Man. You come to me when I'm undressing in the woods. Alright, we're gonna have to ramp this up. Can we get some more hype music, please? Thank you, Walter. Yes, get him, get him! You know, there's actually a game very similar to this. It's called Kingdom Come Deliverance, I believe. I don't know if either of you heard of it.
It's Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think that they're making a second
Oh,
chapter
really?
now.
The
Wow,
medieval art
that's
of
awesome.
swordsmanship
I'm not
wasn't
sure about
restricted
that.
to only
It
But I
is-
think that it.
Fiore also taught
From
what
what
is
I've
called
heard,
gioco
it's
stretto,
one of the
or
most
sort of
historically
combat with the
accurate
body
video games of
contact.
all
The
time,
importance
and I
of
think
this
that's
gioco stretto
fascinating.
was,
Well,
for
it's from
Fiore,
Czechs,
implicit
so
in
of
the
course it's going
ranges
to be
of
one of the
movements
most.
Well, that's
that
awesome. I
he
think that's
considered
great. I
an
think we should have more
excellent
video
swordsman.
games like that.
A large number of techniques of body contact.
Yeah,
which
so
could be
Czechs were the
considered
ones
grabs
who
of
made the
wrestling with a
first
sword
Mafia
have
game.
been inherited
Oh,
from
wow.
Fiore. To overcome
You know,
his
we make only the
opponent,
best
the
games
swordsman
possible.
had to
So.
be
Clearly.
caught by surprise, and he had to have the courage to assault him, to get closer to him, and thereby run the risk of being hit.
Ow.
If these techniques were carried out properly, a good grab could solve or end a duel, and the opponent could easily
Now he
be
pushes
killed,
back and
or
all
at
that
least
arm is
badly
off.
injured.
Yeah, I mean, if they just lift up,
Here,
that's gonna
we will
cut
show
under your
the
arm.
most successful grabs. Colpo di punta falsa, or false point blow. If the opponent was caught by surprise, he could be killed instantly. This movement was performed after a side blow, before the opponent could move his sword away. and
That's just
turn
me
the
when anyone
guard.
comes up to me and just surprises me.
Even the pommel of the sword
Ah!
was used as
Stabs
a
them.
weapon, to hit or to deceive. the
Just die
opponent.
instantly from anxiety.
The use of
Starbucks
this technique
barista's like,
only made
Koops, and you're
sense
like, ah!
when the two opponents were physically
sorry, I'm
near
so
each
sorry.
other. The last grab shown here is the one which was used to cut the attacker's throat. The attacker's cut is blocked from the right, and his sword is hit to one side. The opponent, stepping forward with his left foot, moves behind
Dunzo.
the attacker and brings his sword in
Quick way to
line with
lose
the attacker's
15
face.
pounds.
Though difficult, it was sometimes possible
Never worry
to
about your
escape
weight
from the
again.
grab.
Cut your head
As
off.
shown here, this escape was only thanks to the swordsman's speed, luck, or a slow opponent.
Ooh. Key Knight. Yes!
Finally, some action.
Yes! That's what I wanted. Get in there, wail on him.
Someone give him a chair.
Fiore's treatise does not cover any instruction for sword fighting with a shield. In this video, this technique has been explained briefly.
Perhaps there's another video where we learn about shields.
know who won.
Key knight, key knight, key
The
knight.
shield protected the upper front part of the body, while the left leg of the swordsman was placed in front of his right leg. From this position of defence, the sword could be held up either above his head or hidden behind his back. The right side of the body and the head were defended by the sword, which was held in the right
They're like
hand.
doing that thing when you like walk face
Sometimes
face up to
the attacks were
someone and
carried
you just
out
start copying their
using
movements.
shields, while the parries were performed as follows. The fendenti were blocked above the head by the sword, while at the same time the cuts directed to the left part of the body were parried by the shield. The left leg was exposed, and so the sword was used to defend it. The experienced swordsman usually moved his leg away rapidly.
They keep giving
to
us
avoid
just
being
like
injured.
the tiniest
If
bit
the
of
opponents
action,
were
and then they
standing
go back to
near each
this.
other, some simple techniques of the so-called giocostretta were used. The swordsman moved rapidly to his right or left. He tried to hit or hook onto his opponent's shield with his own one, or he used the pommel of his sword to move the opponent's shield aside.
There's a lot more punching in sword fighting than I realized.
I think it's just a way for them to be like, if you can't slash at your enemy, fight dirty. I think that's what they're getting at. Punch him in the face, bash him in the noggin. Take your pants off.
I don't know. I don't think that taking off your pants would help at all.
Have you tried it?
No, not really.
That's what I'm saying. See, the
Well,
next
you
time you're in a
never
sword
know.
fight, take your pants off.
Oh, maybe more action?
I hope so. This is to see who gets to join this group.
I mean, there's a dude with a falcon there, so why wouldn't you want to be there?
Exactly. Ooh.
That's that cinematic shot.
Wow, they look so enthused. Who's a good boy? Yeah.
Pat, 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 pat.
I'm waiting with a bated breath. I'm sorry?
Oh, he's going to strangle him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was his neck.
Wow, I was not
He gave him a
expecting
little
that.
kick.
Instead of fighting with swords, just snap his neck.
You know what?
It's
That's
that
it.
easy.
It worked. You know what? You're in. Yeah, the Falcon really threw me for a loop.
Fury has left us not only a complete work on the art of swordsmanship,
Just that
but a
classic
precise
intimidation
instruction
power
of
move.
a modern imitator of the medieval knight.
Oh, clearly
would
this
do
guy's
well
important.
To keep in mind, the power of the body is worth nothing if the man
Yeah, I
lacks
just
vigor,
figured out,
courage,
and
and
seen that
strict discipline.
almost every single one of
He
them
also
looks the
states
same way like
the
this
need
guy.
to respect a
I think you're right.
well-trained and honorable opponent.
And there you go. That was medieval sword fighting in the style of Fiora di Liberi of the 14th century, as performed by Compagnia dei Malipiero. Wow. What'd you guys
If
think?
nothing else, I can say that it was that.
It certainly was. It certainly was. It is exactly what was on the label. Lucky, what did you think of this VHS tape?
Interesting. I mean, I learned some few new things. Seen some NPCs, some clones.
Right. Saw a couple guys die. Can't forget that.
Yeah, some few people has died. One died from a snapped neck.
Yeah, that's so strange.
What
I
the
don't know why
hell?
they did that.
I mean, it's sword fighting. Why would you
Yeah.
snap
Like, for the
someone's neck? You
big-
can just kill them with sword.
Exactly. With the final fight of the tape, I don't know why that's the route they went. They should have legitimately lopped his head off. But you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, that would be better.
Nah, man, sword fighting is about snapping necks.
What's it? Oh my gosh! Look, you can email them.
You think it's still
Oh, we can go to their GeoCities page.
Oh yes, yes. Let's go check it out. That's what we should do. We'll put it in. Whew. Art video, amazing, amazing.
I think you need to remember the most important things in life are to drink, draw, and do swords.
Absolutely, absolutely. If anything, that's the big takeaway from the video. Okay, the next time you're drinking, just draw something. You know, do a little picture, and then stab the person next to you. Wise words from Lucky Koops and TV today.
For entertainment purposes only, not actual advice.
Yeah, let's clarify for legal reasons. We don't want you to get drunk and stab your friends. We would never ask you to do that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, Lucky Koops, I am so grateful that you two decided to join me for this episode of Roll the Tape. If you haven't seen the other episodes this season, or if you haven't even seen any episodes from the previous season, go watch them. They're fantastic. They come out every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've actually got a very special themed season coming up after this one, so stay tuned. But, of course, we will see you in the next one. Now, Lucky Koops, would you two like to say goodbye to the good viewers at home?
See you later.
Goodbye to the good
Goodbye.
viewers at home.
And thanks for tuning in.